What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bittensor today, TAO. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it, okay? It is the 29th day of March, and here we are at about $317. Moving down, definitely moving down, but things seem to be a bit different right now, don't they? We've got this lower high kind of trend. You have broken out of that. Now, there's no breakout move to follow to the upside or to the downside, but you have broken out of this trend. Something different's going on. It is the weekend. Typically over the weekend we see some boring stuff happen. But I think it's important to note that on the way down here, you have consistently been dropping off in volume. This is on the USDT Binance chart, which is pretty consistent for some of the more reputable volume readings in the space. So if this is showing this, I think that should be taken seriously. And the fact that the volume's decreasing as you move down makes you think that we are due for a move up. Now, the question is, does this move up? Is this move up going to just be a standard retracement of this move? Will we just come back up into this range, get a lower high, and then come down? Or is this a platform of which we form to continue to expand and see a higher high here? I want to look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom out to the long-term stuff. All right, so let's get into it. 1 hour time frame here. The RSI is truly neutral. The price action is neutral. Really, we're probably not going to get much off the 1 hour time frame. I know that the MACD here kind of has a bearish tilt to it because we've just crossed red. Looks like we're rejecting the 0. We're on the 1 hour, right? It's the 1 hour. It's not that significant, and also we're moving sideways. I don't trust the MACD. I don't trust the stochastics. And the MACD is not reliable, or the RSI is not even reliable in this kind of environment. 4 hour time frame should give us a little bit more clarity. We are holding the 40 area as support. You look at this on a horizontal level. You've held this area just above, right at it, just below, whatever, for the past month. Really, this has been your kind of support area, and we're hanging out here. We're dwelling here a little bit, but we've done that before and still prevailed. So I'm not really too worried about the price action there or the readings on the RSI. Overall, it's a very bullish 4 hour RSI. You look at the stochastics, definitely taking a bullish posturing here, and the MACD. In all fairness here, we're back at the 0, and this is a perfect area to find support. Now, again, the question is, will this support bring us up to a higher price level, or is this going to be just some type of momentary support that ends up flopping through the 0? Is it going to be a slightly lower high that ends up going lower? Anything's possible. I don't know from here, but I do expect that we will see some movement up over the coming days. Again, beyond just the indicators, the volume related to the price action is very telling that I think we will see some type of retracement here. Beyond that itself, the price action here from a low point did find support right at this 4 hour closing high, or closing low, I'm sorry. And then if we zoom out further, let's just see. Prior resistance back here. We even have a little bit of resistance lower. If we are to go to $300, it's nice psychological support there. We take this relative low here to this relative high. We're flirting with the 382. I mean, typically you'd expect to break through it, so since we're doing something that's not typical, maybe we do hold support here. And then I wonder, I'm actually kind of curious about this. I don't think there are any areas of relevance here yet, but let me just see. Low to high. Oops. Right there around the 236. I mean, it looks good. It looks pretty good. I would be surprised if this was the high. Could we go lower first and then come back up? Could everything that we're talking about happening here, could that happen even if we go lower first? Sure. And that might be the case. I don't know. Time will tell. Part of me thinks that we could find support here just because of the wick right there and all the respect in this area that we've shown before, both as support and resistance before. It would make sense to find support here. But also part of me would think that if we were going to do that, I would think we'd get a quicker reaction. We wouldn't be hanging out at these areas still. But the point still stands that as we're moving down, volume's decreasing, and that's enough, in my opinion, to suggest that there is some type of a movement up. If and when we do move up, assuming this is the relative low, from a, that was not the high. From a high here to a low there, the expectation should, I think, at a minimum be $350 to $355. And at a maximum, $400 to $427, and potentially even a little bit through that. We could go higher. If you're looking at this like it's some type of bull flag, if we're looking at this here like it's a bull flag, you take the low to high, You can see the bull flag, right? Here's your flagpole. Here's your flag. You're flagging out. If it is a bull flag, that measure move would take us all the way up to about $450. So it is possible to go even a little bit through 440, 430. We could even go higher than that as well. But just using these fib extensions, 427, 400 itself, something in that range stands out. 450, 460 is the next target zone, sure. And we could even go higher than that, but I'm not really expecting higher than that. Let's see. What other indicators we got? We've gone over all these. Okay, so daily time frame, looking at this now, the RSI does have bearish divergence. This is bearish divergence. And I did say that as long as we were getting green days closing between 400 to 460 was a feasible outcome. The fact that we've closed red now, it is possible that this is the high and that we don't go higher. It is completely possible that you don't go higher, that is the absolute high. I would think you go higher. I'd be kind of surprised if we didn't. High to low here. I mean, it's not really a common area to stop at, but it happens. You did close back below the golden ratio, so we're doing some funky stuff here. If we were to go higher, this 786 area, 886 area would definitely be where we stop. But if we can't get back above the golden ratio, if you can't start closing days above 324, it's completely valid that we could come back down to these areas. What's wild is we could come back down to these areas and still move back up here and then move down. We could move down to these areas, find resistance to the golden ratio, and then come down. I think that depending on how we interact with this golden ratio after finding support down here, that would be enough for me to consider that this was the top area, that we are going to go down. You're probably going to go below $200 at some point. But at this moment, I have some optimism, especially from the short-term stuff, that we should see some recovery here. It's odd. It's weird. It doesn't go how I normally go with the fibs, but that's okay. Looking at the daily indicators here, looking at the RSI, we still do have higher lows. We're at the same area that we bounced from before. RSI does look bullish even with this bearish divergence. The stochastics have lower lows, and we're right at the 50. It's a perfect area to bounce. Higher lows in the price, lower lows in the indicator. That's hidden bullish divergence. And we do have bearish divergence on the MACD, but it is still postured in a bullish way. This divergence, this bearish divergence here on the daily time frame can be true. It can provide an honest result, but if we come back up and we get another drive of bearish divergence, that could be the scenario where you do pierce through $400. You get people very excited at the top. There's more bearish divergence, and the inevitable breakdown will only be more dramatic because of it. Same thing with the MACD. We can further expand on this bearish divergence here, and even with the stochastics as well, we can further expand on that bearish divergence. So curious to see what happens. I'm assuming that we'll get the answer by the end of this next week. By the time that I make this next video, we should have results one way or another. I'm either going to be bullish down here for a move back up to like these same areas, and then we're going to be down, or we're going to be up here, and we will likely then from that point move down as well. Cautiously bullish. I'm cautiously bullish here because of the short-term time frames. And I use the word cautiously bullish because you know you have moved up a good bit since February. You've moved up a good bit in this Bitcoin bear market. You absolutely could be at the end of your ropes right now. But a little bit bullish because again the indicators and the volume, the lack of selling pressure here, just makes me think that you have a little bit more to go. And then again, I mentioned this. I just want to say it one more time. It is possible that you find support here, you still get a lower high, and you still go lower afterwards. So just because you bounce from here doesn't necessarily mean you're getting a higher high. We'll get the higher high confirmed, I mean, when we get there. But I would say once we start closing days, if we close a day above 350, I will be convinced that we will see that 4 to 430 area. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? One way or another, we're definitely at the ends of our ropes here. Nobody has any business buying here. It's the same rhetoric as it was whenever we were back at these levels here. I don't think anybody has any. I do believe that the price is going up, but I just don't think anybody has any reason to buy here because this little bit of growth is not worth the dropping that's going to come. Somebody, I forget if it was on X or if it was on YouTube comments, but I said that the majority of this move was done, and they're like, how can you say the majority of this move is done while also saying that we have 30% to go? do you understand how backwards that is? You don't make any sense. It's like, I might not make any sense to you with your big, magnificent brain, but if you're looking at this from a low to a high, yeah, from this point to here, I would say the majority of the move has been accomplished. Therefore, you don't really have any business buying at these levels. And if that was hard to understand, I hope it's easier to understand now. If it's still hard to understand, I don't know, man. Words don't seem to work for you. So I'm going to end it there. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.